Right. Good evening to Netma. So we will start with the particular syllabus and the contents that we have on our year 10 or grade 10. So mainly we have to discuss first the basics. I hope you can see the screen as well as you can see the myself as well on the screen, right? Okay. So main thing, first thing is we have to discuss about the basics and the applications of information and communication technology. Then we have to come to the fundamentals of computer system. So there we will be discussing about certain components. Now, if you go to this chapter, so you can see here, now here in this chapter 4, chapter 2, you can see the classification of computers, how they are classified based on the capacity and based on their task. Those things we will discuss in the particular chapter. Do you need any explanation in single as well? Or both languages? So shall I go with, only with English?
So you can
You can tell. It's up to you.
do both
Okay,
Sinhala and
I
English.
will do both, right? So here, තර මුලින්ම අපිට අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම so because there may be certain problems in understanding with the pure English version, so therefore we will go in both. Right, first thing is, so we will have some introduction to information and communication technology and also some insight into the applications of information technology in different areas. දැන් මේකේ පළවෙනි එක තමයි අපි මේ තොරතුරු හා සංනිවේදන තාක්ෂණය ගැන චුට්ටක් පොඩි හැඳින්වීමක් කරලා ඊට පස්සේ ඒක යොදා ගන්න areas. ඒ කියන්නේ so how it is used in education, how it is used by the government. All these things will be discussed one by one with some examples. And also, uh, we will also discuss about the information systems. What is an information system? Why you need it? How you use it? What are the different components? All these things we will be discussing in the first chapter. In the second chapter, we will be discuss about elements of the computer system. So there we will be discussing about types of different types of computers based on their categorizations, based on their capacity, complexity. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් computers වල ඒ කියන්නේ ධාරිතාවය අනුව ඒවා use කරන දේවල් අනුව කොහොමද ඒවායේ capacities වෙනස් වෙන්නේ. අන්න මේ වගේ දේවල් අපි මේ දෙවෙනි chapter එකේ කතා කරනවා. Number 3, data representation methods. මේකේ note එක ලියා ගන්න මුකුත් ඕනේ නැහැ. අපි නිකන් බලාගෙන යනවා. පළවෙනි කියන note එක. So ඊළඟ එක තමයි next one is data representation methods. So what do you understand by data representation? පොඩි නිකන් දරලා දහලා තිබ්බනම් ඇති. චුට්ටක් නේ අපි කතා කරගෙන යන්න. ඒකද අපි දැනට ඉන්නේ වාර්තරකින් හින්දා අපි ලේසි මේ. අර ලේසි අර කරගෙන යන්න මුලින්ම. තව පස්සේ ඒක දෙනකොට අමාරු දේවල් කියන්න have tell, right? So we can talk. So it's just an individual class at the moment. Data representation mean දත්ත නිරූපණය කියලා අපි කියනවා නේද? එතකොට මේක 8 වසරේ ඉඳන් තමයි පටන් ගන්න කරන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. එතකොට so if you take so what are the different data types that you have in the computer? මොනවද data වර්ග? කියන්නේ දත්ත වර්ග මොනවද තියෙන්නේ computer එකේ? Different data types දත්ත මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? ටිකක් කියන්න බා. අපි දැන් මතක් කරගෙන යන්න ඕන සමහර ඒවා. ඒක දැන් මතක නැතුණා කමන්නේ පොඩ මතක් කරගන්න උත්සාහ කරන්න නැත්නම් ඉතින් මම කොහොමද කියනවා. So I will give you a telling, but you can try to first tell. ඉස්සර නිකන් කියන්න බලන්න පුළුවන් නම් data representation වලට කලින් අපි නිකන් මොනවද මේකේ තියෙන මේ what are the different things that you what are the different data types that you have? So these are the types of data. So we'll just have small discussion on that. First type, we can say text, textual data. Then පුළුවන් කියන්නේ එකක් මොන්න මම කිව්වා. තව නැති. Text.
So integers.
Integers එකට යනකොට එතන අපි ගන්නවා numbers කියලා. Numbers තමයි. So if you take numbers, there will be integers, then real numbers or decimal points. එතකොට මේ numbers තමයි මේ numbers ගැන තමයි integers කියලා කියන්නේ. So what you mentioned is integers is subcategory of numbers. So also the real is also going to be a subcategory of numbers. Text you have again letters and characters and sentences. So we call them strings. And if you take sentences when you come to programming.
Point numbers.
Yeah, floating points. Here we can say float. So real numbers actually. Here we have again double, real type based numbers and floating point. So good, you know this stuff, right? That's good. But all together they are numbers. That's it. හොඳයි මේක තමයි ටික detail level එකකම දාන්න. ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙන්නේ මේ numbers එක. ගමනක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට අමතරව ගමනක් categories තියෙනවා. මතක් කරගෙන යන්න සමහරව මතක නැහැ. So you might not remember. What else? Images. How දෙකක් විතර කියන්න බා. Tell me another two. Images. Again one. Images and now another machine thinking කරන්නේ. What do you do with the machine in addition to the in addition to looking at these things? Now if you take a website, what do you have inside the website? You have text,
Information.
yes, you may have images, then we can have sounds or audio. And also video. Now when you take all these different categories of data, so if you take everything here, so if I spotlight this for you and share my screen. Now hopefully you can see whatever is written here. Text, numbers, images, audio, video. All these things should be represented inside the computer by some means. How? They are stored within the computer. That is called data representation. Representing this data inside the computer using some means. So the making මේ data computer එක ඇතුලේ කොහොමද represent තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ නිරූපණය කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක තමයි. So if you take a letter, that letter cannot be represented inside the computer as it is. අපි නිකන් අකුරක් ගත්තොත් පින්තූරයක් ගත්තොත් අපිට පේන ඒක ඒ විදිහටම computer එක ඇතුලේ represent කරන්න බෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒකට වෙන ඒක convert කරගන්න නම් උනාට. So we have to convert it basically to digital form, ones and zeros, and store it. Even if you take ones and zeros, you have to represent text in a one format, numbers in another format, images in another format. So all these things have to be represented in different formats, and that is what we call it as data representation. So data representation. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we come to the next one. So we come to discuss about logic gates. So all these processors and most of the circuits, they are made of logic gates, which you can input some data and you can get some kind of a output after processing them. So logic gates, if you take, there are certain fundamental elements of computer. So we have to understand basic logic gate operations. So that is what we have to study under that. And logic gates actually, we input to it things like ones and zeros, and you will get an output. So since these ones and zeros can be mapped with true and false, we will be discussing about Boolean functions there, and that is yet to be discussed at that point. So we will not go into that deeper level right now. We will discuss about them when we come to that lesson. Next one is operating systems. Do you know the examples for operating systems by now? Can you tell 2 or 3 examples?
Windows,
Yes, Windows, Linux, Unix,
Ubuntu,
Solaris operating system, Chrome OS, Android, iOS, Windows Mobile. All these are operating systems which are used in different devices. So if you take iOS, it is a mobile operating system. If you take Windows, Windows also have Windows embedded version, Windows mobile version, Windows desktop version, Windows server version, like that. Various versions are there. So if you take Windows, it will cover up a large variety of operating systems that are belonging to many devices. Windows කියලා ගත්තට පස්සේ Windows එකක් තියෙනවා, Windows server operating system servers වලට දාන්න එක විතරක් තියෙනවා. Desktop වලට විතරක් අපි දැන් පාවිච්චි කරන එක තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ Windows mobile එක දානවා mobile phone වලට. Windows embedded කියන එක දානවා embedded devices කියන්නේ ඔය අපි embedded device කියලා එක උගල දානවා ඇති අර washing machines, air conditioners ඒවට දාන්න. ඊට වඩා වෙන වෙන handheld devices තියෙනවා සමහර. So there are certain handheld devices that are used by industry. So Windows embedded is used in them. You can search for Windows. Now it is not there. Windows embedded, that name is now changed a bit. Then we come to, I think these things you know, word processing. We will be discussing about Microsoft Word over there. Electronic spreadsheets. There we will be discussing about MS or Microsoft Excel. Then we come to electronic presentations. There we will be discussing about Microsoft PowerPoint. And database, there we will discuss about Microsoft Access. So with all these, so I hope you have a computer, otherwise it's difficult actually to do the practicals on it. So therefore, with the practical modules and everything, we will try to complete. Not try to, we have to complete. So I mean, if you have a computer, I hope you have a computer, is it?
yes sir.
Then fine, then it's okay, so we can proceed. Otherwise, there's no way to do practicals in a lab environment if you are connecting by remote manner. So I will be demonstrating the stuff and you can do the things on the same time and try to proceed. Okay, so when I'm doing it, if you have any question, you can ask. Okay. Now, let's put our first topic.
Sir, today are we going to write?
Yes, we will write now onward. So
Today
you can have a now I
to write. Because I'm not in my house. Today I'm in my grandma's house. Today
okay.
because I don't have anything.
Okay, so shall we discuss and then you can later write it.
Okay sir.
Okay, so we'll discuss it and later on we will write it. So if you want to know, it's better if you can write a note. So I will also share the recording as well. Then one more thing is, okay, today we'll only do the discussion. Next day, can you write next day anyway?
Okay.
Okay, so next day you can write. Today we will discuss. So it will be just a discussion, and you and me can discuss it. Okay, first of all, now information and communication technology. So we'll discuss about several things. I will show you the shared screen so because you can understand what we are going to discuss. So this data and information, it comes everywhere. කියන්නේ මේ හැමතැනම මේ data and information කියන එක එනවම තමයි. මුලින්ම අපි කතා කරද්දී data කියන මොනවද information. මේ campus එකේ තියෙනවා. Once you go to the university also it is there. So now we can see the difference between data and information. First thing is that. Then we have to understand what a system is. It's not about information system. We have to understand what is a system. What is the definition of a system? System make a definition can be kata කරමු. Then the different systems that we see in our day-to-day life. ඊට පස්සේ ඔය තියෙන එක අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දකින the different systems that we see in day-to-day life. දැන් අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් හැමතැනම යද්දි දකින ඒවා අපි අහලා තියෙන අන්න ඒවා තමයි අපි ඊළඟට කතා කරන්නේ. The next one is characteristic of quality information. Information is there, but it has to have some characteristics to be having a good quality. So even if you take some product, there are certain characteristics. මොනවාද characteristics කියන්නේ? ගුණාංග කියලා අපි කියනවා. සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ ගුණාංග කියලා. So if you take a system, if you take an information, that information have to have some characteristics. ඒකට තියෙන්න ඕනේ යම්කිසි ගුණාංග කීපයක්. ඒ ගුණාංග ටික තිබ්බොත් තමයි information quality එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ. If it has some characteristics, then we say that information is having a better quality. Then we come to this information and communication technology. So we are going to define about it, right? We define it. So when the web and everything comes together, it becomes communication. Then we come to application of information and communication technology. Where do we apply it? How do we use it in different places? And then we come to the evolution of computer. What is evolution? Evolution කියන්නේ මොකක්ද අහලා තියෙනවද? Evolution වචනේ දන්නවද තියෙනවද?
What's a
Evolution කියන එකේ තේරුම
evolution means that a generation.
Not actual generation. It is evolve mean parinamya. So we just call it step by step it improves. That is what we call evolution. Okay. So evolution is it's being transformed, improved. So evolution කියන එකේදී අර computers කොහොමද evolve වුනේ ටික ටික කොහොමද කියන අද තියෙන තත්ත්වයට ආවේ කියන එක. That's what we are going to discuss in the last part of this lesson. Okay, so now we come to discuss certain things in this. Now we are going to discuss about data and information. Data and information. So we have data and information. So data are going to be raw facts and figures. Raw facts and figures. That means they are not processed. Process කරලා නැහැ. Raw facts and figures කියලා කියන්නේ. Raw කියන්නේ අමු කියලා කියනවා. අමු දත් කියන්නේ facts කියලා කියන්නේ ඒක දේවල්. So මොනවා වගේ what kind of things? Right, we can take something like this. You can take temperature. Values, temperature values during a day. දවසක් ඇතුළත temperature values ටික නිකන් අපි අරන් බලමු. So in the morning these days it is very cold. Right? You know that it is in these areas it is near 23 degrees of Celsius. Let's say this is at 6 a.m. Then we can come to 8 a.m. It's going to be 24. Then by 9 a.m. it's going to be 27. You know this. Anyway, even though it is very cold in the morning, it will be very sunny when it comes to around 9 a.m. And also when it comes to 12, it might be around 33. And again, okay, now these are the individual values that we have gathered time to time, right? All are individual values. And we call them what? Data. Now, what about the, now can you tell anything about the overall temperature of the day with all these at once by looking at one figure? එකක් දිහා බලලා මුළු දවසේම උෂ්ණත්වය කියන්න පුළුවන්ද අපිට? Can you tell? You can't, right? You cannot do that. So therefore, we have to do some processing with all these values and calculate the average temperature. Temperature within a certain given range. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි කාල පරාසයක් ඇතුළත average temperature අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන්. That means maybe from 6 a.m. to maybe 8 p.m. We can give an average temperature maybe by adding all these things up and doing a division. I don't know if that is the way that they do the calculation, but maybe different than that. But still, you have to process them to come to an average value. Maybe average is going to be 27 sometimes, right? Average temperature though during the day. And වැඩි වෙලාවක් මෙන්න මේ ගානේ තමයි තිබිලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? So that is one way that we can perform. Similarly, another thing is if you take, so that's all about data. So now by looking at the temperature at 6 o'clock, you cannot decide the entire day's temperature. That means because it is not processed, it is just a one fact. So you have to gather some facts and do some calculation and get the information, and then you can decide. Again, that was the temperature. Then we come to another one. Then rainfall. Rainfall values. මේ තව එකක් ගමු. දැන් අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා ගත්ත temperature. දැන් අපි ගන්නවා වර්ෂාපතනය ගැන. How do you measure the rainfall? කොහොමද වර්ෂාපතනය වයින්නේ? මොනයිද? දැකලා තියෙනේද වර්ෂාපතනය මොනයින්ද අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් වයින්නේ? නැත්නම් millimeters වලින් නේද?
Millimeter.
Millimeters. Liter, milliliter නෙවෙයි.
I thought that the instrument.
It's not any milliliters or anything, right? Not liters, it's all about millimeters. So now let's say rainfall values during a 1 week. So let's say on Monday, we have 30 millimeter rain. Then on Tuesday, we have, let's say, 45 millimeter rain. Then on Wednesday, we have, let's say, 100 millimeter. So that means has gone up. During this entire week, you can take the average rainfall by adding all these things up and dividing by 7, like that. So all these are data, and then you get everything added up and you can divide it, so you get the average rainfall by somehow. It's like that. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the data is going to be now according to the definition of the textbook. If you read it, do you have those textbooks by now? Or do you have a PDF version at least?
Sir, I can take the PDF.
Yeah, I can even send you the PDF if you need. I have it. So after the lesson, I will send the PDF version to you. The numbers, words, images, and symbols which do not bear a meaning. They don't have any meaning. So they are standing alone like this. By looking at that one, you cannot decide anything about the entire week or entire month. Just a one figure. So it is a raw fact or a raw figure which you cannot take a decision. Then, so these are going to be data. And once you process the data using some manual calculation, that's what you do right now. So before we come into the information system, we perform some calculation and then we process it and we get somewhere. Then it is going to be data. So then what we do is we can process it by some means. Processing is done by adding up and dividing at this moment. But it is not the only way that is going to be processed. Data කියන එක process කරන්නේ මේ විදිහට විතරක් නෙවෙයි. It's not the only way the data is going to be processed. This is just a one method, right? So there are different data processing methods, right? We will discuss about those things in detail later. මේ එක විදියක් විතරයි. හරිද? මේ තියෙන්නේ එතකොට එකතු කරලා බෙදලා ගන්න විදිය. දැන් තව ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියනවා classification. So there are different other methods like classification, aggregation, like this. There are some other methods that you can do. So මේ වගේ ක්‍රම ගණනාවක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මෙතන අපි මේ කරේ mathematical calculation. Yeah. So it includes aggregation also. But I will not discuss about them right now. It is not in the syllabus at the moment. පස්සේ තියෙනවා and පොඩි දේවල් අපිට කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. So now you can see. So I hope you understood that concept of data and information. So once you take so I will show you a smaller example that is in the textbook that is good to understand that one. That's why I will show it exactly. You can see here. It will be difficult to get an idea about the subjects and marks if names and marks are written separately on term test results. Now these are some raw facts. Ravi, Rizwan, Krishan, 3 people have obtained marks for some subjects, such as for Ravi, it's going to be 78, 90, 79, 67, 76, 98, so on. Rizwan is going to have 87, 78, like that. But it doesn't describe the data. Right? It is not having any description about the data. So once you proceed, you can see, you can tabulate the data as follows. So you can get the right idea of the different subjects that these people or these 3 people have sat for. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් අපි මෙහෙම තියෙනට වඩා පොඩි අදහසක් එනවා මෙතෙන්ට ගියාම. ඒ කියන්නේ මේගොල්ලෝ මොන සබ්ජෙක්ට්ස් වලටද ඉඳගෙන තියෙන්නේ කියන අඩු ගන්න. ඒක චුට්ටක් හරි ඉම්ප්‍රූව් වෙලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මෙතන තාම අපි දන්නේ කවුද වැඩියෙන්ම ලකුණු වරන් තියෙන්නේ. Still we can't understand who has taken the highest marks overall as an average. So එතකොට මේක දිහා බලලා රවීද හොඳ සමාන්න හොඳ රිස්වාන්ද හොඳ. In decision එක ගන්න බෑ because now from data we have to derive information. From information we come to decisions. So this is process data. Then using that information, we can come to a decision. එතන මෙන්න මේ information බලලා අපි decision එක දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් decision එකක් ගන්න අපිට ගන්නවා. So if you are taking a decision now still you can't take because we have only been aware that these students have said these subjects only that. But still we can't say who is the first, who is the second, who is the third, who is having the highest average out of all these things are not there. So therefore, we can come to another calculation by adding all these things, people's average marks and dividing it by 6. So we add them, we divide it, and now we can see their average values. Now you can see here we have taken some process data. So the information that we have found here is actually the total. It is actually an intermediate information. The actual information is average. The total කියන එක අතරමැදි තොරතුරක් කියලා අපි කියන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද ඒක තවත් process වෙනවා. ඊළඟට අපිට හම් වෙන්නේ average එක. Average එක තමයි අපේ ඇත්තම තොරතුර. ඒකෙන් තමයි අපි decision එකක් කරගන්නේ. දැන් ඒ කියන්නේ rank එක කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Decision එක. So rank means ඒක එතකොට අපි ඒක දිහා බලලා තමයි rank එක ගන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ average එක තමයි information එක. Information එක දිහා බලලා මෙයා එක, මෙයා දෙක, මෙයා තුන කියලා අපි decide කරන්න පුළුවන්. So you can decide. So that is what we have. So what is data, what is information, and you can also see what kind of a decision is made. So we can decide who's the first one. This one is the first. We can decide. Someone is the second. So Ravi is the second, someone is the third. Right. Hope you understood that one as well. Okay. Then okay. Good. Then we come to the next one. On the mamo Q එකක් තමයි දැන් තියෙන්නේ. Temperature value during the day. So example 2, I actually wrote it on the board. So once you take the temperature values during a day, if you want the average temperature, then you can proceed to do some calculations by adding them up and dividing it. Next. So once you get ill, right? I don't expect you to, but I wish you good health, but still people are getting ill, even myself. So when I get ill, I go to sometimes now in certain situations, if I get fever and if I get some infection, sometimes when I go to the doctor, if the sometimes now if it is not a normal fever, sometimes doctor tells us to take a full blood report. You can see a full blood report in the shared sheet. You know, full blood report you can see. So anyway, Netma, what is your stream that you are going to select for your A levels?
Still no ideas.
Still no idea. Okay. Then forget about it. Let's study ICT at the moment. Let's come to this particular report. You can see. So I'm looking at it right now. You can see the component in the first column. Then in the next column, you have your value. In the third column, you have standard range. Then the fourth column, we have units. Okay, forget about units, forget about everything. So what you can see here is all these are going to be data. Now, the actual data values are going to be in the second column, your value. Then මෙතන මේ blood report එක ගත්තම මේකේ මේ columns තියෙනවා පහක්. මේකේ දෙවෙනි column එකේ තමයි අපේ blood report එකේ අපේ අපිට අදාළ value එක තියෙන්නේ. ඊට එහා පැත්තේ තියෙන reference range කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් උතන පළවෙනි column එකේ තියෙන්නේ 5.4 කියන්නේ මගේ ලේ ගත්තා නම් මේ තියෙන්නේ මගේ ලේ වල ඔය white blood cells count එක තමයි තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒක මේ units වලින් කියන්නේ ඔය ඒ units ගන්න මම කියන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි ලේ මොකක් හරි මේ මිලිලීටර් ප්‍රමාණයක ඒක චූට්ටක් ඊට පොඩි ගොඩක් පොඩි ගානක්. ඒ කියන්නේ එච්චර ප්‍රමාණයක මේ white blood cells මෙච්චරක් තියෙනවා. So it just says that in a certain amount, in a certain volume of blood, this much of white blood cells are there. So actually it should be between 4 and 11. Then Now it is actually within the range. ඒකේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. ඔය රතු පාටෙන් තියෙනවා නේද? You can see certain things are in red color. That means they are out of range. Now all these are information, no data. මේ මොනවද? Information, the data. What do you think?
What sir didn't get you?
Sorry? I didn't hear the last part. That much.
Sir didn't get you.
Okay, this is one. So I'm asking now when you look at this blood report, I'm asking whether this blood report is having data or information.
Data.
Data, good. So now when the doctor looks at it, he can go through this one and he can process it to some extent by his mind. So we are not going to process it using a computer, but he can look at it and he can combine certain figures and decide something. So මේක දැන් බලන කෙනෙක් ඩොක්ටර් කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් එයා මේක බලලා ඒකේ සමහර ෆිගර්ස් දිහා බලලා මෙන්න මේ මෙහෙම තියෙනවා කියලා දැක ගමන් එයා ඒ ටික එකතු කරලා එයාගේ ඔළුවෙන් information මොන හරි එයා process කරගන්නවා. ඒක අපිට කරන්න බෑ. That exercise will be so that is a different level of knowledge. So once he does that, then he can decide. He can ඊට පස්සේ එයා කියන decide කරනවා ඔයාට තියෙන මෙන්න මේ ලෙඩේ. He can decide that you have a viral infection in your body. Like that he can decide. So that is again another example for data and information in the real world. Next one. This is, of course, you can write even a program to do this. In this one, what we can understand here is if you take the NIC number, National Identity Card number, I don't think you have one right now. Other identity card.
No, sir.
No, right. So your identity card is going to be a digital one, sometimes even with a chip. So we have old type identity cards. So when you take the identity card, this is the old format. Make it a parana format. So may format එකේ අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම, so if you take this format, we can see the identity card number 742, then 7712, like this it has. So this is some kind of a data. Meaning data ටිකක් තමයි 237 V 742771237 V මෙහෙම පළවෙනි දෙක. Now you take this, you are going to process it. So this is the data. You put it into a program. Then program will process කරන්නේ. Programs and so we did talk about programs. So if you put this value into a program, the program is going to take the first three values, 74 and 2, and just use this as the year of birth and use this to identify whether it is male or female. So if it is between, if this number is between 0 and 4, that person is a male. If it is between 5 and 9, that person is a female. And this denotes the birth year. The mega පටන් ගන්න. එතකොට අපේ උපන් දින කියන්නේ ඉපදුන අවුරුද්දෙන් තමයි මේ කොටස පටන් ගන්නේ. If you put it to a program, so which is data, so it will extract this information. Then මේ 74 මේ මුළු ඔකේම තියෙන අපිට මේක දිහා බලනකොට මොකුත් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. You don't understand anything. The program is going to separate the essential components and give some idea about the year. So it will tell this is the birth year, and based on this, you can categorize it under male or female. So you have used Scratch programs. Scratch කියන එක කරලා තියෙනව නේද ඊට කලින්? කරා.
Yes, sir.
So ඒකේ අපිට එනවා නේද මේ selection statement if එක. You get it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you have if statement, so based on the if you can write a search in this program, you can write if the values are between 0 and 9, so 0 and 4, then you can display that student is a male. Otherwise, or else you can display that student is a female. So like that, you can even write a program to do this. So make a use the program well. So that was another example for data and information. Right now we come to next one, information system. අපි ඊළඟට යනවා information system කියන එකට. ඊට කලින් අපි system එකක් ගැන මොකක්ද බලමු. So let's look at what a system is before we proceed to information system. System. අපි නිකන් මේ information system ගන්න නැතුව without taking information system we will take some other systems. Right. So you can take respiratory system. මොකද්ද මේ? Respiratory. So it is a part of our body which is letting you breathe in, breathe out, which absorbs oxygen. So that's objective. So it has an objective, right? It has an objective or goal to absorb oxygen and put out carbon dioxide. Make objective goal එකක් තියෙනවා. It has a goal. ඒ කියන්නේ අරමුණක් තියෙනවා මේකට අපේ ශරීරයට මොකද්ද? ඔක්සිජන් ලබාගෙන carbon dioxide පිට කරනවා. Then can you tell another system? Not an IT system, just another system. The braking system of a vehicle. Braking system of a vehicle. What does it do? Its goal is to stop the vehicle. Main goal is to vehicle is stop करना. Stopping the vehicle. Now, the braking system, what does it have? It has a set of components. It has brake pad. Brake system මේක කියන්නේ වාහනයක brake system brake pads කියලා જાතියක් තියෙනවා. Brake oil is there. Brake light, brake oil lines or pipes. These are the components of a system. මේ තියෙන මොනවද? මේකේ components. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ system එකේ කොටස් කියලා අපි කියනවා. So the system has a goal. Its goal is to stop the vehicle as soon as possible. And these are the components. And what they do, they work together to accomplish this goal. Right? These are working together to achieve this goal. ඔන්නෝක achieve කරන්න එකට එකතු කරලා වැඩ කරනවා. So they work together. That's all the braking system. Any system. So if you take football, again, it is also having a system. Right? Kind of a system that is having set of rules. There are one side, there's a number of players. They work together to achieve also a goal. තරම් goal එකක් achieve කරන්න තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ එකතු වෙලා වැඩ කරන්නේ. So there are different, there's a one goalkeeper, then there are also people who are defending. So ඒකෙත් අර කණ්ඩායම ඇතුළේ කොටස් එක එක විදිහට කඩ ඉන්නවා. ඒකට කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා. මේ goal keeper කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. එයාගේ system එකේ කොටසක්. කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා defend කරන්න. goal එක ගහන්න එනකොට නවත්තන්නේ බලාගෙන ඉන්න කට්ටිය. තව කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා එහා පැත්තේ goal ගහන්න අනිත් පැත්තට. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ විදිහට ඔක්කොම systems තමයි අපිට පේන්න තියෙන්නේ. So you can see systems everywhere. So think very simply, right? Don't think too much about only IT systems. Systems are everywhere within our body, in different things that we see. Systems are there. Now we come to discuss about information system. So we put information here. So information system, if you take,
Excuse me, sir. Sir, can you give me 1 minute, sir? Somebody came to our
okay,
house.
okay, you can go and come. I will wait until you.
Okay, sir, my mother came.
All right. So information system. I think I would rather. Information system. In the actual definition of an information system, so we'll discuss about it. The actual definition of an information system, it has a set of components. Right? So you actually in the grade 10 initially you don't have that definition. You can make grade 10 වල මුල හරියේ ඔය information system එකක definition එක නැහැ. ඒ වුණාට අපි නිකන් බලාගෙන යන එක. So we can just observe that one. So you know what a system is. If you take information system, this system has to do something with the information. So the goal of the information system is what? Is going to be the creation, then create, store, disseminate what? Information. This is the actual goal of information system. Information system එක අරමුණ goal එක. වෙන්නේ information create කරන එක, store කරන එක, disseminate කරන එක. එතකොට මේක කරන්නේ අන්න ඒ වැඩේ. So what it does is disseminate the information. So when you also talk about this information system further, you can see that there's a smaller slide that I have shared with you for your further understanding. So you can see functions of an information system. Then අපි ඊට කලින් මේ information system එකේ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්න. So we'll observe what we have inside the information. So components of IS. Components of IS. So components of information. So you can start telling me what are the components. We'll discuss. We can discuss it. කියන්න බලන්න ඔයාලා හිතන ඒවා කියන්නේ you can tell මේක නම් හිතන්න නැතුව කරන්න ගියාම හරියට සමහර එක පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරමු. Speak of and proceed. පළවෙනි එක අපි write down computer hardware. Information system එකේ තියෙන කොටස් මේ බලන්න. එතකොට information system එකක් කියන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් computer එකක් තියෙන්න බෑ. It must have a computer. Right? So without a computer, you can't have a computer information system. So අපි මේ කතා කරන information system ඔක්කොම computer based ඒවා ගන්න. So if you take information system, it can be even a manual one, which is storing data in files. So files, මේවල data තියාගෙන ඉන්න එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. But at the moment, we are discussing about information systems which are running on the computers. දැන් එතකොට මේ components වල computer එක අනිවාර්යෙන් තියෙන්න ඕන කියන එක තේරෙනව නේද? right. තව මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? දැන් කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ ටික. Yes. Second one. Yes. Starting from S. Software. So we have hardware, we have software. Then we have data. Data තියෙන්න. So we have data. Then we have also network. Networks, so it is connected to network. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට communication අපි කතා කරන ICT ගැන. We are talking about ICT. So if you take ICT, information communication technology, if you take an information system, in addition to hardware, software, and data, also it should be having network. Then number 5, people. කට්ටිය ඉන්න මේ වැඩ කරන්නේ information system එකේ කොටසක් තමයි කට්ටිය people. Then number 6, last one, procedures. Procedures mean this information system is going to operate in an organization. The information system එක තියෙන්නේ කොහෙද? කොහේ හරි ආයතනයකනේ තියෙන්නේ. ගෙදර තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. business එකක තමයි ගොඩක් use වෙන්නේ. business එකක හරි institute එකක හරි government එකේ හරි. එතකොට මේ information system එක තියෙන්නේ මේ ඔක්කොම එකතු වුණාට පස්සේ data තියෙනවා. දැන් ඒකේ procedure එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ කරන. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් මේකෙන් කරන්නේ මොනවද? මේකෙන් කරන්නේ sales ද? ඒ කියන්නේ බඩු විකුණනවාද? ඒතකොට sales process එකක් තියෙනවා. sales procedure එකක් තියෙනවා. නැත්නම් මේකෙන් කරන්නේ accounting ද? So they have accounting procedures, sales procedures, ඒ කියන්නේ so there are some different procedures that you can use. Procedures are going to be so මේ තමයි components. So මේ ගොඩක් highlight කරලා නැහැ මුලින්ම. මේක දැන් පස්සේ වීඩියෝ බලද්දී චුට්ටක් පැත්තකින් ලියාගන්න. But now I will show you the components now here. You can see hardware, software, data, network, people, and procedures. Those are the different components of an information system. Then, when you take all these 4 parts, they belong to what? Information technology. Other 2 are going to be not directly related to IT. So if you take information technology, it is going to be part of information system. That's it. So IT කියන එක තියෙන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් මේක ලොකු එක. So this is the larger one. So අපි මේක round කරොත් if you put a round or මේ ඔක්කොම ගත්තාට පස්සේ තමයි information system කියන්නේ. That is information system. So this is information technology. So we can say information technology is a part of information systems because it has a wider scope. But in some books it says the other way around. සමහර පොත්වල අනිත් පැත්තක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි මේක එච්චර කම්ප්ලිකේට් කරගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. නිකන් ඒක මම මේ අන්තිමට කිව්ව එක ගැන එච්චර හිතන්න එපා. අපිට මෙන්න මේක තිබම this part will be enough for us. That will be enough. Now I will share the screen for you again, and you can observe functions of an information system. The information system components කතා කරේ. දැන් මොනවා functions ඒකේ කාර්යයක්. What are the things that it does? So again, the same thing that is the computer is doing. You input the data, it will process the data, and you will get an output. Input, process, output. So submitting data for processing is called input, and the result we get after processing is called output. So purpose of an information system is to receive data, process and store them, and provide the results when required. So that's what an information system is going to do. So we input the data, processing is happening inside it, and so we have to find out some examples. Right, up to now, did you understand whatever I taught you? Even this slide, මේකත් බලන්න කියමු. මෙතෙන්ට එනකම් කියපු හැම දෙයක්ම තේරුණාද? ප්‍රශ්න මොනවා හරි තියෙනවද? ඔය slide එක කියවලා බලන්න යන්න.
Understood.
Okay, thank you. Good. So we can proceed to some examples. Now we can see this is not giving one precise definition. It just tells different things. So computer process the data that we input according to the commands and provide us the required information. Then we come to some examples. Example 1. You can see there's an ATM machine. The data that we put to the ATM machine is going to be the data ATM card. So in the ATM card, how the data is going to be stored? So if you take an ATM card,
In that code,
yeah, in the code. So if you take, I don't know if you can see the ATM card here. So here we can see there's a chip over here, right? The chip is going to be there. So this chip, or even this magnetic stripe, or in addition to that, if you see this particular sign over here, it is using the near field communication for sending the data. So for the moment, now if you put it on ATM, ATM is going to read it either using this chip or the magnetic stripe over here. එතකොට මේ ATM card එක ගත්තොත් තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම් අපි Visa හරි Master හරි card එකක් ගත්තොත් ඒ Visa හරි Master හරි card එක ගත්තම ඒකේ තියෙන පොඩි magnetic chip එකක්. ඒක සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපේ SIM card එක වගේ පොඩි chip එකක් තියෙනවා. අපේ information එක card එක ගැන information. කියන්නේ ඒක card එක කියන එක card එකේ තියගෙන ඉන්න අපේ account information. එතකොට ඒ account information verify කරගන්නවා. So those account information are verified by the ATM. So it will be getting ready to issue your money. So you put the ATM card and also the PIN number. So the data is going to be the information in the card plus the PIN number. So what is the processing part? මොකද processing කියලා වෙන්නේ ඊළඟට. එයා හිතලා බලන්න. So you put the ATM card, then you type the PIN number, then the card is having some information, plus it is going to take the PIN number, which is 4 digits. What will happen next? Input එක දීලා ඉවරයි. දැන් input part එක තමයි එතකොට data plus PIN number. Then output එක කියන්නේ process වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? So processing will be what? Process කරනවා කියන්නේ. So it has a database. The ATM එකේ තියෙනවා ඒකේ data ගබඩා කරලා. So it has our ATM card information and our PIN number previously stored in somewhere. And ATM එක දන්නවා එයා තියන් ඉන්නවා අපේ PIN number එක මොකක්ද. So it knows what is our PIN number as well as it knows what is our card information or account information. So account information එක PIN number එක දෙකම එයා දන්නවා කලින්. අපි දාන එකේ එතකොට so whatever we put into the ATM machine is the PIN number and the card. So it takes the card, then it checks if we have entered the correct PIN number by matching it with the previous PIN number that is there in the bank. So bank is storing our PIN number and we are also giving the PIN number. If both are matching, it is going to issue the or it is going to give access to the bank or access to our account. එතකොට අපි දාන ATM කාඩ් එකයි අපි දාන PIN number එකයි අරගෙන අපි කලින් අපි සෙට් කරව PIN number එක යා තියන් ඉන්න කොහේ හරි ඒ තියගෙන database එකට ඒකත් අරගෙන දෙක match කරලා බලන්න. match කරන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒකත් use කරන්නේ ඒතකොට program එකේ මොකක් කරත් මොන program එකකින් මොන language එක if එකකින් තමයි match කරන්නේ. if මොකද්ද PIN number එක සමාන වෙනවද කලින් දුන්න එකයි අපේ අලුත් PIN number සමාන වෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. So it's going to check if the PIN number is equal. එහෙමනම් තමයි ඊළඟට අපිට balance එක පෙන්නන්නයි අනිත් ඔක්කොම ටික කරගන්න පුළුවන්. If not it will again let ask you to enter the PIN number. ඒකට ආපහු අපෙන් අහන්න. තුන් පාරක් enter කරගමන් කාඩ් එක මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඇතුලේ ඉර වෙනවා. ඒකයි වෙන්නේ. So in ATM so you be entering for ATM කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? information system එක. So ATM is data is going to be or we can say input card plus PIN. Then process check if PIN is equal to previous PIN. කලින් දුන්න PIN එකයි මේ දැන් දීපු PIN එකයි සමානයි. If it is equal then output is grant access. ඔන්න වචන කියන grant access to account. ඉතින් මුළු account එකටම අපිට සල්ලි ගන්න, සල්ලි transfer කරන්න, සල්ලි bill ගෙවන්න ඔක්කොම කරන්න පුළුවන්. Now you can even pay the bills once you give the correct PIN. So input, process, output. And I will show you. This is again on the slide එක input, processing, output කියන තුන. ATM කියන information system එකේ කොහොමද වෙන්නේ? Okay, so you can see now how it happens in the information system called automated teller machine. So make input a card plus PIN. Process is checking the PIN number is equal to the previous PIN number that has been entered by us to the bank when we are activating the card. And then output is if the PIN number is correct, it is going to grant access to the account. If not, it will block you once you enter the PIN 3 times. So සමහරට දන්නවා ඉතින් ATM card මම හිතන්නේ තාම ඔයාලට account හදන්න බෑ නේද? I don't think you can create account. So you might be using your parents' ATM cards to withdraw money in some case. So therefore, you might have some experience in this one. Next one, we will proceed to the ඊළඟ බලමු. Fingerprint reader to record the attendance of an organization. So you can see now another one. So we call it attendance recording system. attendance recording system cannot hear me. So what is the input? Data is going to be the fingerprint. So the fingerprint is going to be the data or input. Finger. Then process is compare the input fingerprint with original. Original කියන්නේ දැන් මේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් once you go to the work again then මේ attendance system කියන්නේ මොකක්ද ඉස්සෙල්ලා so first we have to understand what is an attendance recording system of an organization. So when people come to work in the morning earlier there was a book to sign in that book. So people come and put the date that they come and put the time that they come and sign. So ඉස්සර නම් අර attendance ගන්නකොට ගොඩක් ඉන්ස්ටිටියුට්ස් වල නැත්නම් රජයේ කාර්යාලවල පොතක් තියෙනවා. පොතේ මෙහෙම රූල් ගහලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට ඒකේ තියෙනවා ඒක කෙලවරේම තියෙනවා උඩින්ම දානවා දවස වෙන. අපේ අද දවස දැම්මා. මුලින්ම තියෙන එන ටයිම් එක දාන්න. ඊට පස්සේ නම ලියන්න තියෙනවා. සයින් එකක් දාන්න තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් තමයි මේ දවසේ මෙන්න මේ වෙලාවට ආව. කියන්නේ අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් so one you have to go to the office before 9 as I remember in all government organizations. So people have to go before 9 and they can leave after 4:30 around. Right? Now, if they so sometimes these people abuse it. They can like සමහර අය ඒ කියන්නේ පරක් වෙලා ඇවිල්ලා සමහර ලාවට 9ට කියන්නේ 9යි 10ට 9යි 20ට හැබැයි දානවා 9 8යි 50 විතර දානවා. So people talk together and do it. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙන්න කවුරුවත් එන්න කලින් ඒ කියන්නේ බොස් කෙනෙක් බලන්න ඕනේ. එයා බලන්න කලින් තමයි වැඩේ කරන්නේ. එතකොට කට්ටිය කතා වෙලා සමහරවිට සයින් එක ඒ කියන්නේ 9 කෙනෙක් නත් එයා අනිත් වෙන කෙනෙක්ට අර පස්සේ වෙලාවක් දාන්න ඕනේ හින්දා 8:55 වගේ දානවා. ඊළඟට එන්නේ දැන් 9:10 වෙන විතර එන එක 8:56 දාලා සයින් කරනවා. කොහොමද ඒක අර හොර කරනවා. So they do mischievous things once they get the chance. So to avoid that one, we have the fingerprint recording system. So attendance system is going to be implemented with the fingerprint. So fingerprint cannot be duplicated. And once you place it there, the time you place it on the fingerprint reader will be recorded. You can have a fingerprint එක තියෙන වෙලාවම හරියටම ඒ වෙලාව record වෙනවා. And no one else can sign for you. ඒ කියන්නේ වෙන කෙනෙක්ට තමන්ගේ sign එක ගන්නත් බෑ. fingerprint එක ඇඟිල්ලම. So that is why we implement. So මෙතන මොකද වෙන්නේ? Input the fingerprint, then that fingerprint that is inserted. එතකොට fingerprint එක කොහොමද ගන්න? Fingerprint scanning. So what is the device that we use here? Fingerprint scanner. Processing is happening normally using some algorithms. You know what algorithms are now. So it is having some fingerprint comparing algorithms, which are a bit sophisticated. And output is if the fingerprint is matching, then time is recorded of the employee. You can employee arrival time recorded. Time is recorded of the employee. The arrival time of the employee is recorded. එතකොට එයා ආපු වෙලාව සටහන් වෙනවා ඒ වෙලාවේ. එතකොට ඒ වෙලාවේ එයා 9:10ට ආවොත් කලින් වෙලාවක් දාන්න බෑ. So that is an attendance recording system. That is what we can see in the slide, and also you can see it on the board now. So when you're taking down the note, you can use this. Make a minimally one after, so you can put record in the arrival and departure times. In a Vilava Yana Vila, Edicama, record in arrival and departure times. Method diagram, let me clear, is it clear? පැහැදිලිද මෙතන ගණන් කරපු හැම එකක්ම වගේ?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we proceed to the next one. මේ ඔක්කොම ටෙක්ස්ට් බුක් එකේ මම ගත්ත ඒවා ටිකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට ඒ ටික අපි අනිවාර්යෙන් කරන්න ඕනේ හින්දා එහෙම දාලා. QR code, you know about this QR code now very well because of the fuel crisis that we faced in the past few months. So QR code is also used to store information inside it. QR code එක use කරන්නේ ඒක ඇතුලේ information encode කරලා තියනවා. So we can use this QR code to store the information and easily input it into a particular system. So the may ඔක්කොම, so if you take මේවා හැම එකක්ම බලමු දැන් මේ අපි අහලා තියෙන්නේ මේ source data automation. So you might not have heard of this source data automation. What do you understand by this automation?
Something happen automatically.
Automatically, very good. So that means to do something automatically. Source data. Source means මූලාශ්‍රය. තියෙන දත්ත automatically ගන්න යනවා. That's what we do. So this trying to take data automatically from a source document. What are sources? Let's think about a supermarket. මේ ඔක්කොම මේ වලට මේ වටපිටාවත් එක්ක මේ දැන් මේ QR code එක කියන්නේ මොකටද ඒක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ? So everything you have to understand. When you come to a supermarket, the supermarket is going to operate. So have you seen now when you go to the supermarket, when you put the items into a shopping cart and go to the cashier, how does the cashier is going to count your items or input the items into the computer? From the cashier මේ items to computer දාලා using
By using a barcode.
Yeah, using the barcode and the barcode reader. So now one option is barcode plus barcode reader. We can use this combination to take the data from what? From the product's barcode. Then we have make a barcode. Then make it I hope you can see the barcode here. Right. So now that is now what will happen if you try to enter the items manually by the keyboard? Then we barcode එක තිබ්බේ නැත්නම් බැරි වෙලාවක් අර දාන items ගොඩ. So that large amount of items, if you try to enter one by one by looking at the product code, and now you can see sometimes If the barcode doesn't work, they are looking at the product and they are entering some numbers that is below the barcode. So මේ barcode එක යටින් තියෙන number failure. ওই number failure දිහා ඒගොල්ලෝ බලලා enter කරනවා manually keyboard එකකින්. So they try to enter it manually from the keyboard, which is going to take some time. ලොකු වෙලාවක් යනවා ඒකට. ඒ වෙලාව අඩු කරගන්න තමයි මෙන්න මේ source data automation කියන එක අපි use කරන්නේ. ඉක්මනට lazy without taking much time using this automation technique. This is a one technique. So once you use a barcode and a barcode reader, you can accomplish the particular task of what? Inputting the data automatically into this. So barcode plus barcode reader. Then anything else? The QR code plus. So QR code readers means cameras, and also there are special QR code readers. They make them specially done. Camera එකෙන් read කරන්න පුළුවන්. Phone එකේ හරි නැත්නම් වෙන camera එකකින් හරි. And also there are special QR code readers. And also RFID. අහලා තියෙනවද?
No, sir.
Yes. තියෙනවද අහන්නේ නැද්ද?
No.
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 Okay. RFID tags. We call it radio frequency identification. RFID, radio frequency. So now you might have seen, have you gone this Colombo Padmanaka Expressway?
No, sir.
No, you haven't seen. Okay, then it's like this. Now, if you just want to use some kind of a tag, there's a matter මෙහෙම දේවල් තියෙන කෙනෙක් tags එහෙම තියෙනවා.